Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're actually going to be going over some electric cup battles. I know it's the other cup that's going along with going on at the same time as Open Great League here in the first week of the new GBL season. I know there's a lot of people not going over it because there's so many changes in Open Great League. But if you want to run electric cup, I want to give you a team that I've used for the last two iterations, which I think it's only been around two other times besides this one in GBL. So the team is, well, let's go ahead and start off with sort of a strategy thing. I usually run a safe swap in an ABB line, but we're actually going to be running a safe swap in the lead for Electric Cup. I'm running Spark Lantern in the lead, and in the back is going to be Fury Cutter, Galvantula, and then Hidden Power Ground Luxray. So let's go ahead and get into the battles. But first, if you haven't, definitely hit that subscribe button. Helps you know when the videos are coming out in the channel. And let's go ahead and get into the video here. All right. So we have Lanturn against Manectric. That's probably a pretty good matchup, a Shadow Manectric as it is. So going to be very squishy. Again, we're not really going to switch if they're not going to switch. And they came in with a Lanturn. And you know what? We have that energy advantage. I'm just going to run this matchup all the way through. And then I know that Luxray is going to be really good against Manectric in the back. So we're just going to keep those shields too. You notice I didn't shield the first one. They actually ended up baiting. They end up throwing the actual Thunderbolt here. They've already shielded once. So I'm going to go ahead. I actually switch here. Not something I would usually do. But they actually go down before they can even get to a move there. I'm going to throw Psychic Fangs. I'm going to throw Psychic Fangs here just so that we can shield this and end up farming this down before they can get to another move. I believe this also has Psychic Fangs. Yeah. So Switch Clock's still down for them. They're going to come into the last matchup and get debuffed. So they know that they're going to go ahead and get out. Galvantula against Lanturn. This is actually not the greatest matchup. They do get to the lunge before you, but they don't get to the energy ball before you. So if they do throw before you throw, you're not in danger of getting energy balled, which is going to not one-shot you, but do a lot of damage because it's super effective. We're also running Energy Ball on our Galvantula as well. I'm going to just take this loss, I think. We might actually even live. No. And then I'm going to come in Galvantula, and I think I can farm this down before they get to 3 volts, which is, it's going to take 12 turns, so we get 12 hits in, 13 actually before they get to swap. And then I think about throwing the move there, and then I was like, you know what? It resists everything I have. I'm not going to throw anything. I know this is a Fell Stinger. I'm not going to shield. And then I'm just going to switch, pressure it to leave since it's already Fell Stingered. Definitely going to shield now that its attack is buffed. Luxray is very squishy. You definitely need those shields for him. And even though they have their own Luxray, but even though they have a shield advantage here, we have so much energy on both of our Mon, and both of our Mon have some sort of debuff that their shield advantage is really going to get crippled through our charge attacks, which is why it's really good to have these in the back or swap onto something that you know is a winning matchup. So Raichu in the front, things that we know about Raichu, it's a Alolan Raichu actually, I should say, is it has the Psychic typing, so I know that Galvantula is going to be really good against this in the back if they ever switch out. If they don't switch out, I'm just going to depend on the bulk of my Mon, and we actually end up switching at the exact same time. They get to their move way faster than I thought here on Raikou. This is a Wild Charge. It only knows, I think, for its charge attacks, Wild Charge and Shadow Ball. So those are big hitting moves. It is pretty squishy, but it has kind of the same flavor as Luxray. Well, kind of, but the opposite. But in the sense that if you have shields, you can really burn through them on. Whereas they pressure shields, Luxray kind of just pressures the HP and not really touching that shield. Dedene's coming in. You want to make sure not to throw the Crunch, which is the secondary move, because it is resisted by the Fairy typing of Dedenne. I'm just going to farm this down. I think they know it's over. Oh, well, maybe they don't. But we also have Crunch in the same way that we have Lunge, which is going to be super effective against that Psychic typing of the Alolan Raichu. Same thing here with the Galvantula. You'll get used to it. Even though this one's Fury Cutter, it's still going to get there before you. If it wants to throw Lunge, if it wants to throw Energy Ball, it's not, so you know that that's going down. And I'm fine taking the Lunge. I probably will live too, so probably end up going to be pressuring this next shield anyways. I believe I'll be able to live. It's It's really close. Yeah, we'll live. So I think on the last one we didn't live. This one we did live, but that's because Volt Switch stronger move, and even though it's resisted, still a much stronger move than like Fury Cutter. So I think I could try to Fury Cutter this down again. Happens again. So I think a lot of people who watch a lot of my videos, everything's like almost by the numbers because you know that you survive X number of moves or whatever, and you play to that. So they actually end up getting the Psychic Fangs here. We lose CMP. I guess I knew. Well, I don't know. Kind of weird that we lose CMP, but we end up sniping down the Manectric. They have a Lanturn in the back. Lanturn with water gun's actually really scary, and especially because they probably won't end up shielding this Psychic Fangs because you probably want to shield the second one if you're going to shield anything. But look how much damage we're putting in. We have 2 shields. The thing that was scary about this matchup was the water gun in general because we're so squishy and we have this huge shield advantage, but they're not really pressuring us with charge attacks. And that can be really scary in Electric Cup in general, which is the whole reason Luxray works. All right, Graveler. This is a really good matchup for us to see here with the Lanturn. Obviously, we have Surf, which is going to be super effective against the Rock typing, but also in the same vein is we don't want the Rock type to go up against Galvantula. It has, I think it has Stone Edge, but I think it also has Rock Blast. Someone will have to correct me on that if that's wrong, but I know it has Stone Edge. It can have, I believe, a smaller rock move for its charge attack as well as wild charge. So things to look out for. Also on its fast attacks, it can end up having rock throw or volt switch. So something to see, just something to notice. A lot of people using both or either or rather. So they end up having a Raichu. We come in with our Galvantula. Like I said, super effective Fury Cutters, but the Fury Cutter's kind of not doing too much. It's just not a great move. They end up having Togedemaru, and yeah, we'll shield. Oh, we don't have to shield because it only has Fell Stinger and Wild Charge. And even a Wild Charge will live as Luxray, even though we're super squishy. It's resisted, so going for the crunch again on the Alolan Raichu. Actually, a ton of Alolan Raichu out there today. It does have an interesting typing. It does have Grass Knot as well, so if you want to face the Lanturns off with that. This is the first Kanto Electrode I've seen. One thing to really be afraid of with our team is a Hisuian Electrode, because it does resist Luxray, the ground type move with its grass typing, and it's really good against Lanturns. So I expect to see more of that as we get higher rating, or through the ranks rather. We don't have a rating yet, but yeah, we'll probably see a little bit more Hisuian Electrode. I say a little bit more, I haven't seen any yet, but you'll definitely see those on the top teams for sure. All right, and you definitely want to have Galvantula on the Hisuian Electrode. Obviously, that's why I'm running Fury Cutter. We need to have that super effective ability against the grass typing there instead of being triple weak to it. I go for the lunge here to reduce the attack of the Galvantula before I come in with my Mon. That way I don't have to spend a shield here if I don't want to, and I definitely don't want to. And then I'm going to go for the Psychic Fangs and hopefully farm it down, but I think he ends up going for a shield here. Yeah, so that he can get a lunge off on my Galvantula. It's actually pretty close to a second one, I believe. So I don't think we'll be able to farm this down before we get to another lunge, or before they get to another lunge. But I go for the no shield again because I already had lunged it the first time that these two met, and he hasn't left a matchup yet. So we end up farming it down, and then we are almost at a move. I definitely should have thrown before this, but it probably would have been CMP, and I don't know who wins that. We have a shield anyways. It's not like I'm really losing anything out of it. So yeah, GG's to my opponent there. Again, one thing we didn't see here, but I stress a lot is this team. I love this team. This team's really good, but one thing to really look out for is the combination of Galvantula and Hisuian Electrode. I remember the last time this was around, a lot of the top teams were running that combination. Maybe I can try to get a video out with them, or maybe even the same team but against those types of combinations, because those are the very difficult matchups. The really good matchups for this team is we're double strong against the Geodude evolution line. So Alolan Graveler and Alolan Golem were very good against. Luxray, super effective. Lanturn has Surf, which is super effective, and you get to the moves faster than they do. So those are Mon we're really good against. And again, the things we're bad against is sometimes we're pretty neutral against Galvantula, but really bad against Hisuian Electrode. So look out for that. And look out for my next video. If you haven't, definitely subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.